Lost Legacy. Take it away.
Good morning. I'm osskari, as we heard Josh say so expertly. I'm here with
Mini.
and
Robin XD.
all right, let's just get into it. We've got time to explain everything. So we're playing on Explorer. We're gonna play lock on aim on for real gamers. And thanks to the PS5, we can play with a save, and it doesn't really hinder us. Oh yeah, before we start, we need the incentive, which
You need the
the
incentive.
custom incentive, yeah.
So we had a costume incentive. There were two options: Pirate or Western. Western got $155. Pirate got 190. So you'll be playing
Wow.
as Pirate today.
All right. Okay, so timer starts when I skip the cinematic. So 3, 2, 1.
Let's go!
All right. So this is the Lost Legacy, which is kind of a standalone mini sequel to Uncharted 4. The same engine, everything. And yeah, but what it does have over Uncharted 4 is that it's not 4 hours long.
Don't get me wrong.
Even
Decent
getting all the
technique on
treasures.
But I'd like my Ganesh back.
Speaking of treasures,
Please.
here's one. You have to get this one.
Fine.
No matter what.
A
No
for
matter
effort,
what.
kid.
Here it is. So yeah, this game came out in 2017. And this is the PS5 version. So it came out on PS4 and it had horrific loads. Like each time you skip a cutscene, it'd be like a good minute of loads. But the PS5 has no load screens, not even the new game load shows a load screen. So I don't even know they have the load screen in there anymore.
There's not a lot of differences between PS4 and PS5 either, but there's one big one.
Yes. You have double the frames, even like quadruple the frames if you have the good setup. So we're playing on 60 FPS, 2K. PS4 is locked at 30. Well, I say locked at 30 max at 1080, but you can switch on the go here up to 4K 30 FPS or 1080p 120 FPS if you have that up for that. So, oh, I got the good pause there. So this game has like crazy impressive
Somewhere to be.
transitions between gameplay and cinematics. So the way the visual cue for that one is like the guard has like a pretty flat expression, and then you know the cinematic starts when he has like a smug grin on his face. That's the only tell, really. Yeah, the beginning of this is pretty slow, but the game's pretty. Another important thing in these games is restart checkpoints. And the same principle applies with like queues and stuff. Gotta know where the checkpoints are.
Off to a great start.
There's one member of our community that goes through all the checkpoints, just pauses at random times,
Yep.
resets, saves 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, we're gonna do like I'm gonna try to do the game as close to what I would do in a normal attempt, but we do use in-game time, which, you know, removes all loads, and even if you pause the game, it removes all the like pause time as well. So like you
Pink.
places Pink Lotus, that's you. So yeah, we use in-game time, which means that, you know, there's like the PS4 and the PS5 are on par technically, even though the PS4 is like RTA is like has like a good 40 minutes of load or something. Okay, now we're we're getting some more action. Treasure number 2 coming up. There's 68 treasures in this game, which is like a good number. Uncharted 1 has 63, 2 and 3 have 100, and 4 probably has 100 as well, or something, but I feel like 68 is a good in between.
I've got you now.
Right, you just take out one guy, and then these guys do their thing. And
You're late,
here's Nadine,
Fraser.
our partner,
I see you
friend.
too.
She's really good at fighting. Then it's straight. There you go.
The same Nadine who was our enemy in the 4th game.
Yeah. Vinny, do you want to explain why I just put the game on crushing difficulty?
I'll give you a
So there's a difference between Explorer and Crushing. Of course, Explorer is you play the game as you would like watch a movie, like no difficulty at all. Crushing, it's hard.
Thank you.
So being on Crushing means you have less reaction time, which makes these slides faster than on Explorer. So it saves that one alone. I think you said saves 2 seconds.
That's just off the top of my head, but I don't think maybe someone has timed it. I haven't timed it.
So throughout the game, we will move it from Explorer to Crushing to Explorer,
This way.
depending on which section you're in. So if you're in a fight section, you would be on Explorer because that's easiest and fastest. On movement, you would go with Crushing.
Yep. It's like, it's crazy how fast sliding is, because I only started switching difficulties like 10 days ago-ish, and
Where to now?
the difference in the speed on the slides is like, I probably saved like 2 seconds on that like 10-meter long slide. Okay, so I guess we can go into movement while we're
Just exploring our
running
options.
around.
Sit tight.
Rob, do you want to take movement?
Wow.
Oh God. So basically, jump roll is the fastest speed for moving. The Optimus way of doing it. That's pretty much all I know.
Right.
Oh, I'm getting a lot of feedback on that one.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So yeah, jump rolling is the thing. I'm just holding. Oh wow, I've never jumped over that. I'm just holding circle with my index finger, claw gripping, and
Good deal.
mashing X. Or you don't have to mash, just like a light mash. And it looks silly, but this is a common thread throughout all the series. Is
There's some cheap
jumping around
supplies
is
if you want 'em.
pretty fast.
Always this talkative old job. Yeah.
Or you can do it like me, hold the thumb on the circle and just move it to the X button.
Yeah, I mean that.
Depends on what you're comfortable with.
I claw grip everything,
One less
so
problem.
claw gripping is the best.
It's just above us. See?
So lock picking is another
It wasn't.
mini game in this game.
This will just
Is
take a moment.
I don't know. It's not interesting. Just like a thing you have to do. This one is kind of interesting though, because you can
There's
decide not to do it, and if you wait for a bit, then Nadine will do this, but you can speed it up
Or that works.
by actually
It's
doing
on
it,
a
picking
disc.
2 of the 3 pins. Sometimes you get messed up in the menu when you're,
It's like walking
if
through
it's
an
still
empty
auto-saving, you can't access
He's
any of
been
the
a busy
like
boy. How much you
save and
fancy
load and
all this?
restart things.
Enough to keep his little insurrection going for quite some time.
And you may have noticed with the pirate costume we have the pirate hook on, which is really good.
I'll just borrow this. Fraser. Mm-hmm. Come here. That looks promising.
So we're now in
Not for long.
Asav's penthouse apartment thingy,
What
who's
was that
the
meant?
main
Western
bad guy of
Ghats,
this
Western
game.
Earth territory. Shit. No, it's all right. Nothing we didn't already know.
A race for the treasure, as always.
Yeah. gonna be escaping here after I do this.
Oh, missed it. Careful.
And we'll get a chance to explain combat movement. When we're in combat, we don't want to jump and roll.
We need to get across.
Just gonna do some running. I love it that happens. And in this, a lot of times you can like run off ledges, and well, sometimes you'll grab the ledge, but sometimes it'll do this, where you just like fall off. And if you can fall off, then it's usually faster. But that first one is kind of annoying. Sometimes you just want to fall off. But as you can see, that we're going much sprinting in combat. I'm still on crushing, so I could actually die at the end of this, but the checkpoints in this game are really good, so not a big deal if you die.
There are encounters and checkpoints, so encounters start the whole thing again, but you get checkpoints throughout the encounter, which goes off of how many enemies you kill. And
Yeah, you don't want to restart encounter. Not a good thing. This part is like open. There's like different paths you can take, but I think this one is the fastest one. This is the one everyone does. I go by that. Can't be bothered to do my own research. Now we're coming to the end of this, and we're gonna get introduced to the car, which it's funny how the car is only there for 2 chapters, but it's like kind of the deepest part of the movement. Cartech. I coined it.
Yep.
Now we're in chapter 3, which is like, now we're done with the intro. We're into the meat of it. And as always with the Uncharted games, there's no, you never go the normal path. The normal path always breaks down and you have to do some silly
parkour.
Yep. Still here. Great. Just checking.
So seeing as this is basically an extension of the 4th game, we also have the rope
Yes.
in this game.
Nope.
It will come in handy later. But
It's a control thing.
in general, it's just like a nice added feature to the platforming.
Let's just enjoy the serenity, shall we?
And you might have noticed, if you play this game before,
Got a dumb question. So much for that.
that
How do you know
the rope prompts say R2 on
would have
them.
turned up in a museum or
I'm
something by now,
One of
right?
those
Plus, I
gamers
haven't seen
who
any Hoysalar exhibition.
played Uncharted 1 a lot,
Never even
so
heard of the
I use
Hoysalar
L1,
for this
R1
job.
to aim and shoot.
Yeah, well, that's the fault of their last
And
king, really.
I don't do that with any other
Relentless.
games, only the Uncharted
Lord of
games.
his Empire's wealth built a new capital for
Okay,
him.
here's our car.
Don't mind us.
Pretty fun to drive around in, and
Give me a
we're
second.
going to be doing there's a lot of treasures in these chapters when we have the car. We're going to be doing a lot of jumping out of it and jumping into it. So there's 2 ways to get into the car. You press triangle just to like get in it normally, but it's faster to jump at it, and if you jump at it the right way, then you just like get put in it with a quicker animation, and then you can jump out of it and you can jump into cutscenes like this. And we have this winch, which I use it just to open doors in this game.
Right. That should do the trick. Fraser, move! It's an ambush. Shit.
And you can see lock on aim.
Thanks for the heads up.
It's pretty nice.
Are you aimbotting?
Yes, literally, I'm aimbotting. But it's built into the game, so it's fine. And this is what you're gonna see sometimes is you can open the. That's a crash. No, okay.
Right.
Game stopped there for a bit.
You were about to pull
So, whenever you pick up treasures, there's like a pop-up thing that appears like press options to inspect your treasure, and then you open up the treasures menu, which is a sub-menu of the main menu.
Figured you'd be more
And
of a leave no trace type when it comes to Indian runes.
but yeah, you don't want to go in there because you can't
Sentimentality
restart
on this
checkpoint in there. And
one.
a lot of the time we want to restart checkpoint after getting treasures. But there's like a small period of time in the during the animation of picking up where
All right.
the treasure pops up on screen, but the
Right.
button prompt does
Sentimentality
not
on
appear on
this
screen.
one.
And if we pause during that, then
What? They're just
we get the normal menu and we can restart checkpoint. So
There they are.
doesn't affect the
Okay,
run
well, I'll look it up.
normally because we use in-game time and the
There we go.
timer is paused, but it affects RTA, so I'm going to be trying to
Made it.
do that as much as possible. Get the normal menu up.
Stop.
Benny, do you want to explain what we're going to do here and what we potentially could have done here?
So this is where gate skip is. I think I hinted at it earlier, but this is the big difference between PS4 and PS5, and that is, in PS4 you can skip this gate. So if this was PS4, even in the All Treasures run, we will skip this. But when you go past this gate, the world isn't loaded in, and if you go there on PS5, you crash every single time. So that's why we do the fight, and
Damn it.
I think it's a 1 minute difference.
Yeah, give or take. But thankfully there's like a spawn kill spot you can get for these guys, so that's convenient. One more guy over here. There he is.
Just use the aimbot.
Oh, pants.
What?
Maybe
Just use
later.
the aimbot.
Yeah, I use the aimbot. It's convenient.
There. Just like I planned. Yeah, that's good.
So you can imagine the time save would be like, instead of having to do that fight and open this door, we just like flip through it relatively quickly. And the way you do it is pretty fun. You like drive into the door, and just before you drive into it, you jump out of the car, and then you hold circle.
I'm sure you
And
are
when you hold
having
circle in this game, you like refuse ledge grab, so you just like fly into the door, and then you fall down between the door and the car, and you pop through. But what ends up happening is that the game crashes.
It's
So
a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
True, but I like your
There's
way of
some
start.
movement tech we haven't gone over, and that's because we're not using it in
Let's
this
have a look at
run.
the map. Okay,
Basically, you
let's see.
can,
We are right
I don't know
about
what the
here.
specified term is, but melee launching. You
Check out that
melee the
tower.
wall,
Let's
and then
read the
aim, and then you basically launch. This was introduced on the PS5 because of the refresh rate, I guess.
yeah,
So you can skip that map tutorial by going out of the car and going up
Okay.
the
I'll
slidey
keep an eye
bit,
out for a
which you
soft-
normally cannot do.
Not that
yeah.
I'm too worried.
Doesn't save that
about
much
it,
time, and it's
You should be.
kind of
You don't
annoying
have
to
the
do.
advantage of surprise again.
And I've like
Don't think he was
I've just
expecting
like ignored that trick
Wait.
pretty much.
Was that a compliment? That
Yeah,
sounded
so
like
we
a
don't do it,
compliment.
but it's pretty funny to see
Drives are idiots, but it's
like a
flawless.
launch.
We just need to stay the hell away from it.
Kind of like a thing with each game in the series has like
Look there. One of us
weird silly glitches, and
Clear out here.
they're all different in their own way,
Interesting circular motif.
but they all have
Like
one.
the disc. This should do the trick.
And I guess the what do we call it? Aim launching is the one for in this game.
There.
Yeah, I don't know what we call it even. We're not very good at coming up with names in this community. Everything's just like
Okay.
oh, we're launching after we aim, so I guess it's aim launching.
We walk in the air.
It's airwalking. Right, so chapter 4 is pretty interesting. It's this like big open world thing. There's a bunch of treasures. There's 3 of these towers. First one. We're gonna be going to each of them. Because in chapter 5 there's one treasure at the very start where we can't get there if we do a skip, which we do in any percent. So we have to the towers. But I mean, there's strats in these towers we don't see in any other category, so it's kind of cool that we're doing it.
You boys really don't want me shooting from down here.
Speaking of the towers, There's a middle tower in this spot you could see on the map earlier, but if you go there, you will map out the area with 15 locations, so 12
Follow me.
Yeah.
tokens and 3 towers where you need to get the water running.
Yeah. And the tokens, if you played this game and you know about the tokens, and you're like, oh, there's 3 treasures behind the tokens. We'll talk about that later. This little fight strat. It's not a skip. I almost said skip. It's not a skip. But you can just like go here, and as long as you get to this thing before anyone spots you, then
Oh shit! They've made
then
it.
you like you can just keep on returning this thing.
I got it.
And this guy tries to annoy me. It's annoying. You can do like crowd control with a gun. Sometimes it's annoying when the enemies get too close to you and they like stun lock you in this like melee thing.
Listen to you.
Sometimes you can roll out of it, sometimes you cannot.
Don't have to ask twice. Excuse me.
Yeah, and sometimes they roll away and they just like come back to you and like continue their stuff.
Okay, guess this is
Small little skip over here. You can jump on there. Not like normally you're supposed to like do some slow climbing, but you just stand on that thing over there.
Here.
Fine.
What are you willing to bet?
You okay
So-
for a quick donation?
Yeah, I was just gonna throw it over to you.
Oh, lovely. Of course, I butt in right before you do it. All right. Well, yeah, good morning, everyone. We just got a $5 donation from Hutch, who says, so many beautiful people I can see on my screen that I just can't contain myself. Hope you're all enjoying yourselves. Good luck, Oz. Arguably the best Uncharted eyes emoji.
Now what?
And yeah, thank you, Hutch, for that
Now I guess
$5.
we
And I'd just
can
like to let you know that their $5
happens.
going to save the children
it's safe?
is enough
You know
to
that
provide
treasure
education
hunting is not a
supplies
good
for
thing for
any
this
child
class, right?
fleeing combat
Not
zones,
as being a mercenary.
giving them the tools they
Difference is
need
when I put
to
a pin on the
resume their
note,
education
I know
after
it's going to
displacement.
next.
So yeah, thank you a lot for that $5. It's going to a great cause.
Yeah, thank you, Hutch. Long-time member of the community.
Did you hear that? You feel
Sad to not see you this year.
Yeah. So this is the first of the 3 towers. It's cool how they did these. They're all like, the floor plan is all the same, and they all have this puzzle.
Look at
So
that.
you can do the towers in any order, and the game will like, it'll always give you the easiest puzzle to the hardest puzzle,
Holy
and it'll
hell.
always give you the same
There's a
cutscene in
massive
order.
relief
So
carved into the side of that mountain.
a clever little like game design trick.
Suppose I should have asked about the drakes before I took the job. Not much to tell. I know
yeah,
now.
so this-
Well,
we-
Sam less so.
The way we do this chapter is we go straight to this tower,
Yeah.
then we get a bunch of treasures on the way to the next tower,
Sounds good.
rinse repeat for the 3rd tower, and then we make our way to the exit. Normally I would have put it on crushing there, but there's so little sliding, and the checkpoint
Waterfalls and mountains.
is kind of awkward. You have to like put into account as well as like how convenient is the checkpoint. Or you're gonna change the difficulty
Never
again.
understood the appeal of people
Uh,
like Saab.
The most convenient
Easy.
checkpoints are like
Finds men who are weak and
where we have
don't
cutscenes or cinematics.
Gives them purpose.
Sometimes
Purpose.
it's like
More like bullshit.
over here I would have to like change it before getting to this encounter, and there's no
How'd you
like
get
good
tangled?
hard cut
Careful.
to do that. Now we get to see the perks
goes
of
everything.
Explorer. Just gonna like say hello to these guys. They have rockets, it's fine. I just want to open this box. There we go, it's our treasure. And we're just gonna get out of here. See you guys later.
Hang on. Way ahead of you.
And the car doesn't want to go forward. Okay, got caught on something. I love that invisible wall over there. I always cut the corner too tight.
We've lost them. She who fights and drives away lives to fight
Okay, I'm
another
gonna remember not to get this treasure later because I'm gonna get it now.
day. Pick it back up.
When you
I'll be right back.
okay, thank you, Chloe, for this.
Uh,
When you
be right back.
you come through this area later on, specifically this small part of the area you come through.
As I was saying.
So normally we would
Oh, you were.
skip picking up 2 treasures, but I'm just gonna skip one of them. One of them, the one I picked up is like, it's arguable whether or not it's faster to do it now or later, but the other one is inarguable. It's much faster to get it later on.
What?
She really likes to grab that ledge, even though I don't want her to. It's fine. Yeah, there you go. That's the, like, the good pause. The treasure pops up, but we don't get the list.
How'd you get tangled up with the Sav anyway?
Here we will get a conversation we will never finish.
Yeah.
Certainly. Shit.
Normally when you're playing this game, you're like, oh, they're having a conversation. Let's drive around for a bit, but I'm jumping out of the car so much. They have this, like, feature where they try to, like, leave the conversation and then pick it up naturally. Like these. Oh, what were we talking about? Oh, hang on a sec. I gotta go do something. But if you're jumping out of the car like every 5 seconds, sometimes they like get stuck on the same line for extended periods of time. It's pretty funny.
I think we had a moment yesterday where you jump out, come back in, what we're talking about, and then in the dialogue there's, oh, what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And sometimes it's like,
Okay.
what were we talking about? Hang on a sec, I gotta do something. And it's like, they don't even get to start the line again. Maybe he's gonna be nice and pull this one open for us. He always does that with the second tower you enter. I guess, well, one of them doesn't even have a door, so the second tower you enter that has a door, which there are only 2 of them.
There's a piece of card tech for pulling up the doors.
Yeah. Like, you reverse and then you, like, turn the wheel and, like, wiggle around. That's supposed to open it faster. I just do it because it's supposed to. I don't actually know if it does it faster. Oh, here we got the pitons. Normally in the 90%,
Left their climbing gear.
once you get into this chapter, you come here immediately, and then you do a skip to the next chapter. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
Correction.
Found by actually
Climbing gear.
Oven Donkey, who was a speedrunner of these games, and then he got hired by Naughty Dog to do QA. And then when this game came out, we didn't really have a lot of skips. Until one day he messaged the main Discord and it's like, hey, I found this while I was working on the game and we didn't have time to patch it out, so here you go. And it skips like, it's 2 skips that skip like,
It's a reasonable request.
like,
You think I'm weak?
it's like a good 30 minutes or something. It's pretty wild.
Down we go.
But yeah, that was that encounter. Pretty easy.
Oh, damn.
Don't care about those guys.
We made it.
I think that's a trophy actually, to get through there without
That statue.
without alerting anyone. So there you go, if you want to do that.
Well, I'll be going to hell. That's
Here's
all
another
right.
trophy if you
Oh,
do
shit.
these puzzles
Statue
without
moved again.
messing up. Oh, so just cranking out the tutorials for you.
Whew. That was close.
I like these
All right.
puzzles, but I don't
I
know.
think
They're
I
not
did
even
it.
puzzles to me
Come
anymore.
on
They're
over.
just like just doing the thing.
Oh, for goodness sake. 3 statues.
And yeah, there's 3 of them with increasing complexity.
I like your descriptions better.
And the way they work,
Be a miss there.
I guess I can go into that. Like, the statues are on 3, they increment every time you jump on a platform, and they're on a cycle of 3. So every 3
Right. Got it.
iterations,
over.
they swipe. Some of them do like a loop.
Figured we had one
but,
more to go.
Yeah, you can like advance the cycle by jumping back and forth. Then you're doing 2 jumps, and they're doing cycles of 3, so it loops around.
No shade.
a lot happening in this one if you do it this fast. There we go.
Oh, fresh air.
Less noise.
Less noise, yes. They're a bit noisy. Yeah, every time we do this, one of these puzzles, there's 3 of them.
Here we go. This will be a picture of an X.
The first one has no counter rotation. This one has 1 piece of counter rotation, and then the last one has 2. And
Right.
the orientation of each piece is
What's to say it's not different this
random, so it's
What if
every time it's different.
time? Fire or something.
So instead of having
I'm totally
like-
messing with you.
like most memory to do is we just have a method, and I just do the order of them in a specific order, and
Here
then
we
they
go.
line up. Sometimes you can get lucky, and the parity works out so that when you orientate the last one, the
Another waterfall.
counter rotation
2 out of 3 now.
works out so you don't have to do the last one.
Ross and I went to an
What
absurd
is it?
amount of trouble to hide the tusk.
Go over to some
Well, the
messages
task
while we watch
was-
this.
Yeah, sure, thank you. Okay, well, I just wanted to say, Babe, wake up! New incentives just dropped. Yeah, we just enabled some new incentives for the upcoming days of the marathon. For the rest of Sunday's incentives, which is today, and all of Monday's incentives just got enabled. So head on over to donations.esamarathon.com or click the donate button below. You can have a look. We've got everything from Worms Armageddon voice, like accent choice. You can choose between a bunch of different voices for the worms, such as Angry Scots, French Lover, stuff like that. We also now have the Dark Sassy bonus run. There's a bonus game of Plushie from the Sky, where we'll have an extra game in the marathon if you meet that. And yeah, we've also got a bunch of stuff for Stream 2. You can name all the Pokemon in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and stuff like that. So go ahead and get your donations in below and start picking some cool incentives. That's all from me, thank you.
Alright. So we're approaching the most interesting part of this like first half of the run. So we mentioned earlier a thing called the Hoysala tokens. So normally what's supposed to happen is there's not only like, I don't know, 20 treasures in this chapter, but there's also like 13, I think. I don't actually remember Hoysala tokens. And the tokens are usually more annoying to get. But as you might have realized when I don't even remember how many they are, we don't have to get them. So here's the Hoysala temple, where our treasures are. And normally we would have to go through this door in here on the right. To open that we need all the tokens. But I think we're just gonna do this instead.
There's also a ring there, I think.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's in here.
Oh.
Or the first token is in here, yeah. Oh yeah, the ring. Yeah, I forgot about that. Get that for getting all the tokens as well. I'm sorry, I have to put it on 30 FPS for a little bit. It hurts my eyes. But the collision doesn't let you out of bounds if you don't turn on 30 FPS. So yeah, we're just like shimmying around the outside of the area. Here's the little mural in the center of the room. Make our way around.
So what the ring does
Yeah.
is that when you do it casually, you get all the Hoysala tokens, and then you find this ring, which you can turn off and on with a function, but what it does is it vibrates every time you get close to a treasure. So if we did not know where all the treasures were, it would be a really nice help.
Yeah. So now we're back in bounds on the other side of the door. And we have our friendly monkeys over here.
Look who's here. Huh?
And let me just grab these 3. And not get any of the tokens. It's pretty good. It's like the reason why I chose to run this in the first place. And it's like I want to say, I don't actually know how much time it saves, but it's like an easy 10 minutes at least.
No hitchhikers. Shoo. Oh,
Probably more.
you're no fun. What, you want them shitting all over the seat? Looks safe. Smells safe. Let's go.
And this game has like, it has a couple of skips, but they're all like peppered throughout kind of.
Hey,
It's
wanna do
funny.
a bit of sightseeing?
Every time
Right
you're like,
behind you.
wait, wasn't I supposed to do a skip? It's like, oh yeah, it's coming up. And we're gonna make our way to the third tower. While
How'd you
picking
get
up some
tangled
stuff.
up with the Sav anyway? Purpose? Rather not go into it. You certainly seem to have a thing for you.
This chapter's
Don't
like
remind
far and
me.
away the
Proved useful at
longest,
the time.
even
Hey,
without
I'll be
getting
right
the
back.
tokens. Never mind. Whenever I try to jump into the car whenever I can, and sometimes
we were talking
games
about.
like,
You were
"Nah,
saying
I
something
can do
about a
that today."
Sav? Yeah.
And you can't be
So
too
anyway,
close to the car. If you're too
assault
close to the car when you jump, you
It was just useful
do like
leverage at
will
the
jump
time.
over the car. That's
do
not really
tell.
that good.
Rather not. Maybe over drinks. Not enough alcohol in the world. I'm just gonna take a look around. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out.
Oh yeah, I just realized with the dialogue, it happens in Uncharted 4 too. There's an open area with a card.
Приветствую, чатик. У нас
If you hit a bump,
небольшие
it will
No longer in the picture.
react
накладки
the same
вышли,
way as if you
поэтому
exit
с
the car
небольшой
and
задержкой
enter, and like,
появляется
what we're
комментатор.
talking about, even though it happened
В общем-то,
2 seconds.
Uncharted, The Lost Legacy,
So you would always get these,
мы уже
what
прошли
we're talking
30
about.
минут
So anyway,
из часа
every
50. Как я понимаю, у нас все сокровища, поэтому в основном
In this game.
Okay.
во время нашего путешествия мы делаем остановки для того, чтобы что-то подобрать. Категория
Actually, let
такая
me do this first.
Okay, go on.
хорошая,
So,
потому
the
что
third tower
очень много
has
остановок, к сожалению, будет.
has a skip.
Any процент, мне кажется, повеселее был бы, но
Near the category.
я просто любитель коротких ранов.
Normally
Не
what we
очень
do
весело
is
ресетать
in this
там
area
на
we have
втором,
to play all
третьем
these guys. And then there's like
часу
this puzzle
ранов.
area.
Привет всем JRPG.
I remember doing it.
Да, и комментатор заспидранил первые 30 минут,
And I remember it being annoying.
просто на изи.
But
Так же, как и раннер бегает на самой легкой сложности, по очевиднейшим причинам, что
kind of walk up.
нам интересно сократить время. И сейчас мы увидим интересный скип.
And if
У игры
you get over here, we can jump over this rock.
очень странная коллизия у некоторых объектов.
Also a checkpoint.
И с помощью этого мы просто триггерим чекпоинт, который находится за ареной.
Alright.
И благодаря этому сразу переходим к
donation from
решению небольшой загадки.
I'm not sure if I'm saying that right.
It's 12.
Twain, okay.
Let's get this
Shout outs to these good Uncharted kids on my screen. Quick question: what is Osskari's favorite found legacy? The lost one is lost, mate. Let it go.
Классика Анча, где во время крутки механизмов
They put their $15 towards the,
мы ловим
Final
то,
Fantasy
что
13
какой-то
10% incentive for,
типичный элемент, где у нас ломается какой-то рычаг, у нас что-то идет не так и так далее. Прям классика игры, классика этого спидрана БТВ, потому что
So that's the third tower done.
чисто теоретически
Now
во время этого рана нельзя вроде бы
get
заруинить,
some treasures.
так что пришлось рисовать, но на деле вот скипосик, который мы делали, мог не получиться с первого раза. И представьте ресетать ран на 37-й минуте, когда вам еще час 52 бегать. Категория, кстати, такая не самая популярная на борде, потому что any процент всего лишь за час бегается. Причем, кстати, я не знаю, связано ли это с версиями игры PS4 и PS5, но
they make Chloe say
категория с 30-60 FPS практически не отличаются по времени. Единственное, в Glitchless там разница в 4 минуты между 30 и 60 FPS.
Why do you accept my offer? I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah, they don't get interrupted when you get go off jumps. Which kind of, the way Uncharted 4 does it makes sense, where they're like, oh, we just went off a huge jump. It makes sense for us to like, not just like carry on our conversation like nothing. But,
A little rock.
yeah.
As I was saying, or you were. What were we saying?
So there should be 2 more treasures, and we should be leaving this chapter with 29.
Главная героиня...
The extra treasure.
Как? Это спин-офф
Usually it's 28.
от основной серии, где у нас главная героиня это... Кстати, как ее зовут-то правильно?
If you grab
Вы
momentum,
сейчас меня озадачили, потому что
you can't do anything, you have to drop down and
она всегда появлялась в Ванче, но я не помню. Хлоя вроде, если я правильно ее имя помню. И, в общем-то, Хлоя вот встречается с нашей
sometimes the driving is
Надин, Надей,
this section is
и
almost like
они отправляются в типичное путешествие Анчи, в которой
drive the car a couple more times.
у нас поиски затерянных сокровищ. Если я правильно помню, вот этот вот сегмент, в котором мы катаемся на машинке, это вроде
There's a lot of like annoying bumps and stuff that can just like
Парашурама,
stop you or
крепость.
turn you around.
И
The other day
здесь
I got turned around
их
like
3.
180 degrees and
Шива еще и
video game.
Ганеши.
Really nice of you.
И нам надо найти стрелы, лук и стрелы,
Do it.
топор и вилы.
That's good.
Нет, не вилы, трезубец.
I don't have any like references for where my time should be, but
В общем-то,
it's like
вот это вот
how well it's
история ответвления на самом-то деле точно так же работает, как и все истории с Дрейком нашим,
too early.
Натаном. О,
Out of
о.
bounds. That's good.
So that was kind of how you do the gates again.
Сейчас Раннер случайно попал в ОАБ.
What you want
Он не планировал.
jump into this corner and have the car push you up like to the cutscene.
Он выпрыгнул раньше времени, и машина выкинула в ОАБ его, хотя он не хотел туда попасть, поэтому ресетать чекпоинт пришлось. О, вот это качественно, качественно. Типичные проблемы раннеров. Выпасть в ОАБ, когда не надо в ОАБ.
Alright, so that's chapter 4 done. Pretty long.
You ready? Yeah. Just taking it all in.
So in like 30 seconds we're gonna see the treasure
В общем-то, если я правильно помню,
skipping chapter 4.
мы ищем здесь бивень Ганеши. Это же бивень. Подождите, я сейчас проверю на всякий случай.
I wish I could run like Nadine, just like jogging in front of me while I'm
Таск.
doing whatever I'm doing.
Тасков Ганеш. Да, это бивень. В общем-то, Ганеш — это индийское божество. Он выглядит как слон.
Yeah, and
Ну, с руками человекоподобный слон.
earlier it's
И
like
мы ищем его в бивень.
each of the games pretty much has like it's a rule of thumb throughout the series. You want to jump if you're not in combat.
Игра-то на самом деле держит планку Анчи. Приятно, хорошая игра. Как спин-офф очень достойная, играется отлично. Так что, если кто-то пропустил ее, потому что это спин-офф, рекомендую ознакомиться.
Choose to shoot or like blind fire.
Сам по себе ран в 100% категории не отличается особым разнообразием, потому что, к сожалению, в отличие от Any%, у нас очень много остановок в маршруте на то, чтобы
Chapter 4 we were
подойти и что-то условно сделать.
substantial skip. And then there's one right away after that.
Вот именно взять какой-то предмет и прочее.
Either 'cause it skips some treasures.
Единственное, что меня в этой части триггерит, с точки зрения логики, это то, как наша героиня перемещается с протезом.
We can pick up treasures, unlike in the trilogy.
Yeah.
Вот это вот легкость прыжков
First 3 games on the
и подвижность крюка меня немножко, ну, очень сильно даже выбивает из повествования.
horror mode, which is in
Потому что в действительности, к сожалению, если у вас такой тип протезов, даже если это вот новые версии, которые механические, вам будет крайне сложно так вот взаимодействовать с окружением. И к тому же прилагать на него какой-либо вообще вес. Это так. К слову, то, что по мне так очень сильно выбивает из истории.
They're doing great, China.
Especially when you have to do airwalks and throw the grenade just at the right place to not die, but also get
Knock on wood.
knocked out of your
Кстати, у нас еще в ране,
He doesn't have the stones.
тут важный вопрос, правильно ли я помню, должен быть еще
Place we could swing.
один глич с воздушной походкой, о котором сейчас говорили как раз-таки. Если он появится, то я его объясню, потому что это надо увидеть. Там такие интересная методология взаимодействия с внешним миром при использовании глича на Airwall. Мы буквально немножко походим по воздуху.
Feels more sturdy up here. That jinxes. Ready?
All this would be skipped to 90%.
Incredible. It's our old friends, Parashurama and Ganesh.
I wish you could do this faster. Repelling. Kind of
Well, when the Hindu gods aren't off fighting demons,
annoying
then
sometimes. Like sometimes the rope behaves badly. Sometimes you hold the you hold R2 to like repel, and sometimes I feel like if you push it too quickly, she just like doesn't care and she starts swinging.
Вот сейчас Раннер отмечает поведение веревок, кстати, в этой игре, что они немного непослушные,
Another thing I'm doing with these like
потому что иногда они не делают то, что вы от них просите, хотя вроде бы нажали нужную клавишу.
jump so that you
Ну,
land right in front
не
of the
клавишу,
enemies and
крок.
hold circle.
Это R2 управление у нас получается на тросах.
But the crawl spaces kind of act differently depending on which one it is. Some of them
now let's see.
also let you roll within them. Some of them don't let you do
Oh,
anything.
good. This one actually works. Good. Nice to get some light. What the hell? Jesus. This was it? Their final stand? Well, wasn't enough to save their empire. But their
So we're
loss
coming
is
up
our
to
gain.
the one puzzle in the game you actually have to memorize. The auto puzzle, which is kind of cool. And if you want to know how to get the trophy, just watch this run and you'll be good. I think there's a trophy for like
Indeed.
doing it in the
Can you
minimum
lend a hand with this
amount of
chap?
moves.
Sure. Come on, old fellow.
And I assume Arams knows what he's doing in that category, so I just follow what he does.
Speaking of Arams, shout out to Arams,
Excuse me.
the
Sorry.
world record holder of
Pretty much everything.
pretty much everything in
Must
the
be
Uncharted
close.
series.
Hopefully closer than these guys.
Это,
Shout out to
даже смешно в какой-то степени то, что самый быстрый способ передвижения в игре — это прыжок и перекат, прыжок и перекат, прыжок и перекат. И в какой-то степени мы скатываемся.
Alright, let's live the piece away from me.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right.
Let's try this.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. 1, 2 to the left.
Сложнейшие загадки, кстати, которые требуют того, чтобы мы подумали, но в действительности за ними нет никакой логики особой. Вам просто надо нажать правильную последовательность кнопок. И все. Это... Ну, лично меня это разочарует. Ну так.
I remember spending ages on that. The first
Я
time
бы
I did it,
сказал не сильно, но на самом деле сильно. Мне очень обидно, что
not something you want to
загадки в игре, вот, к сожалению, превращаются в шаблонное решение такое.
used to not remember how to do it, and I would always like pause the game and pull up text document mid run. Like, oh yeah, this is here. I guess I should remember how to do this. we don't have to do it at 80%.
Анч, если на то пошло, славится не совсем кривым управлением, я бы назвал его дубовым. Вот те, кто понимают, что я имею в виду, те понимают, потому что управление в Анче очень часто меня триггерило тем, что вроде бы я даю правильный инпут, вот я уверен в том, что я нажал все правильно, абсолютно уверен, но игра по непонятным мне причинам решает, что я делаю что-то не так, и начинает меня усиленно троллить, отправляя в путешествие на другой конец платформы или еще что-нибудь такое. Ну, еще в игре очень много таких специфически странных триггеров, скажем так, когда вроде бы вот здесь вот ты попал по противнику, а игра говорит, не попал. Ну, потому что прицел такой тоже специфически неудобный в некоторых аспектах. Но это так, мелочи. В целом, серия таки неплохая. Очень жду ее выхода на ПК, чтобы поиграть в хай FPS-ах.
We're gonna use that to like skip a little bit. So we're just gonna do that real quick.
Wasn't there a skip in 90% right back there too?
Yeah, in 90% you end up in that area where I just, before I got into this section, and because you do a skip before that.
В общем-то, сейчас мы бежим по маршруту, который не бегается в... Как он называется? В any%? Потому что в any% мы скипаем большую часть всего этого процесса, и раннер сейчас пытается сделать скип, в котором мы должны пройтись немного по воздуху. Потому что визуально кажется, что здесь ничего нет, но по каким-то причинам там есть коллизия, по которой мы можем передвигаться. Ну вот и пошла руина Анчи, типичная. В спидране мы пытаемся скипнуть... О, пошло. Все, идеально. В общем-то, мы попали в ООБ. Вот буквально в ООБ. Тут мы не должны быть. Но, как видите... Благодаря тому, что мы прошли по невидимой коллизии и выпали за текстуры, мы можем сократить большой кусок игры, потому что нам надо попасть в дверь. Мы это делаем успешно и подбираем предмет, который мы должны были подобрать очень долгим путем, обходя всякие объекты и так далее. Но здесь мы просто подкатились под дверь, взяли и сразу сократили весь путь, где... Вот эта секция с побегом и длинными перестрелками условными превращается в просто возьми предметы и иди.
They say Uncharted 1 was one of the first games I got into for speedrunning back in 2015, and the Uncharted community has always been pretty neat. I could see how the community was growing over time from a handful of people to quite a large bunch of cuties. Shout out to all the Uncharted peeps. To end this off with a question, who is the best Uncharted waifu and why is it Sully?
Сейчас подняли вопрос лучшей анч-вайфу. Вопрос, кстати, важный.
Yeah, so this is Asab, the main bad guy.
Я считаю, что это Салли.
I mean, we'll also find out right here, like choking us out. But, and you may have noticed I put it on crushing. That's because it doesn't really affect the fight.
Ну да, кстати. Ну как, они не археологи, это именно черные копатели, так вот обозначим, в нашей терминологии они называются, черные археологи. На самом деле люди-то очень плохие, они грабят всякие древние вещи и прочее. Именно то, что делать нельзя, потому что если вы нашли что-то древнее, надо просто оставить все как лежит.
So
Потому что
now we're gonna make our way
Talking about Assad.
зачастую можно услышать
to the next area. That's actually as practical
формулировки
as
по типу «все равно бы это не нашли» или «это какая-то пулька»,
because
но в действительности
it was like bright when we were there.
это крайне важное место, где еще нашли эти предметы и в каком состоянии они лежали, потому что
Kind of convenient actually, as they put the treasures.
Бородино, например,
The
наши
treasure
историки
chests
воссоздали
like
по
the
распределению пуль.
out of the way ones.
Ну вот именно находили пули в земле, в деревьях, и с помощью этого полностью выстроили, как двигались колонны и где какие залпы были сделаны.
I guess we didn't explain it, but
На самом деле это поразительно, потому что полностью воссоздать целое сражение только за счет того, что
do that in that
вы нашли
wall, she's gonna be like,
выстрелы, это прям очень такое
fine now.
серьезное мероприятие было.
They do that in Uncharted 4 as well.
Прям
Basically, this section is
монументальный труд был проделан ради того, чтобы воссоздать просто передвижение каких-то отрядов, чтобы понять, что происходило во время сражения. Это прям здорово, здорово.
oh, and in that cutscene,
В ране пока что типичный спокойненький сегмент с перекатами и прыжками.
so Nadine's not with us for a couple of minutes. Don't worry about it.
Летописцев как бы все всегда записывали что-то, но летописцы-то не были во время самого сражения. У них не было именно доступа к передвижениям войск, не было доступа к точному количеству солдат и прочее. А вот эти вот маленькие детали по типу выстрелов отрядов позволяли четко предположить, ну как,
This bridge over here,
позволяют четко предположить, даже так корректнее сказать, сколько человек
that one treasure. I'm not gonna get
в каком направлении двигалось. Потому что количество выстрелов-то у старого оружия четко ограничено. Можно было рассчитать, ну как, рассчитывается непосредственно. Количество залпов, сделанных отрядом, направление, в котором оно двигалось. Можно выстроить даже с какой стороны эти отряды двигались и для какой цели предположить. Потому что есть же еще и документация, которая позволяет соотнести все это дело. Потому что история как наука занята самым таким вот скучным для многих делом. Она сверяет множество различных источников и ищет в них непосредственно то, что можно проверить, и от этого уже выстраивает историческое действие. Так что вот эта вот романтизация черных копателей, которая даже есть в Анче в какой-то степени, это не всегда хорошо.
So we're just gonna walk around here. We don't want to get run over by the APC because it hurts. Even on Explorer, it's like insta kill. And now we have the best weapon in the game. Where's the? Oh, there he is. RPG guy. So the silence pistol.
Ключевая причина, вот именно ключевая причина, по которой большинство событий в истории описываются с помощью множества разных источников, ну вот почему именно историческая наука заинтересована множеством разных источников, это как раз таки то, что кто-то мог преувеличить, что-то добавить, сделать как-то хорошо, кто-то на кого-то клевету условную писал. И вот историки заняты тем, что сверяют вот эти вот разнообразные источники для выведения истинности знания, обозначим так. Потому что, ну, сейчас нас в секциях не ждет вообще ничего, помимо рычагов и прочего. Историю-то, вот фраза «историю пишут победители» — это правда. Но у проигравших-то тоже люди остались. И люди, которые остались у проигравших, пишут, какие победители были замечательные люди, их всячески хвалят. А потом как бы появляется еще какой-нибудь монах 4 века до нашей эры, который сидел вот все это время и наблюдал за этим со стороны, и все это вел, ну, просто потому что конец света близок, и вот это вот сражение, там, произошедшее между двумя странами, вроде бы никак не связанное с концом света, это ж важный маячок, поэтому надо записать. и в результате чего мы получаем множество различных записей от
See for walking.
кучи народу,
Hang on with it.
которая никак не связана с военным делом и прочим, просто потому что...
So in
Ну это
using
же
for
все понятно, что
is
конец света
one
грядет, и
single
поэтому все
player
это
of
происходит.
Battlefield.
Так что записывали все и все.
Assuming this is the same engine, you could do it in Lost Legacy as well, but I don't think there's any use for it or anywhere you can do it.
No.
Сейчас скипов никаких не будет в ближайшее
Which the airwalk is
время
essential
вообще, к сожалению, никаких.
Somehow there's just
Поэтому
like a
придется
way to walk through the air in
надеяться и ждать,
like half the
что...
games. Or there's in most of the games there's a way to walk through the air. In half the games. it's
Ох,
impossible. Like,
бедный
you'll
слоник
often
застрял.
I'm pretty sure.
Сейчас мы должны помочь слонику по сюжету, кстати.
I think actually we call every unnamed NPC in the series Dave. So hello, say hello to Dave. And we're just gonna be riding Dave for a bit. So if you wanna say
Мне,
something.
кстати, нравится, как
Excellent, excellent.
они
Okay,
профессионально
I'd like
сразу
to
определили,
then take some time to let everyone
что
know
надо
about
делать,
a
чтобы
couple of
помочь слону,
prizes
а
we
слон
have
так
for
спокойно
today.
позволил
We have some
людям к нему подойти.
We have, a bunch of
И все, они сразу
prizes that are
поехали.
available for
Вот
the entire duration of the event.
как же
I will start with
это
the
здорово
$50
выглядит, но вот как слон туда попал? Что он там забыл?
The entire run, so if you do $10 5 times or 25 twice, you don't have to do 50 all at once. You get put in the running for these. We have 2 Nintendo Switches, which is pretty great. You know, you can play games on those. I heard you like games. We also,
Чтобы
for retro
оказаться
gamers
там,
as
надо
well,
проявить
you're
очень
reliable.
много
We have
усилий.
3, not 2, not 1, 3 RetroTink 5X Pros, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's a fantastic upscaler. I kind of wish I actually had one. You upscale all your retro games, make them look beautiful and work on displays and all sorts of stuff. But now we get to the crazy ones. For $75, we have, again, not one, but
Да, я
2
согласен, слоны
Steam
постоянно в
decks.
пещере.
That's
Слоны вообще
Steam for
пещерные
that
животные,
car,
как
not
говорится.
Steam decks. We have 2 of them. I don't know how we have 2, but we're giving them away. It's $75 if you want to get into the running for one of the 2 of those.
Начиная от 75 баксов начинают
Grand
разыгрывать
prize
Steam
for a
деки.
minimum $100 donation across the whole event. We have, again, not 1, but 2 PlayStation 5s. The big 5, the big white chungus. We've got 2 of them we're giving away. So yeah, get your donations in, and if you're interested in the prizes, we have lots more. Head on over to prizes.esamarathon.com. That's an easy enough URL to type in. You don't need to find a link. Just prizes.esamarathon.com. And yeah, have a big old gander at all the crazy prizes we have. Yeah, thank you, and get your donations in for Save the Children.
I've never seen Steam Deck, but I can't
Вот.
vouch for the chunkness of the PS5.
Это анимация с тем, как еще главная героиня хочет кинуть что-то
Can you hold it up?
протезом.
No, please don't.
Меня это на самом деле все время так сильно триггерит.
Trust me, it is chunky.
Ну,
and
потому
this
что
version is
у меня есть
extra chunky.
знакомые, которые получили повреждение
PS5 you can
руки и не могут как бы пользоваться
and the Uncharted.
рукой полноценно, у них протезирование в помощь пришло. И даже с современными протезами вот делать элементарные действия, которые делает героиня так легко, очень сложно.
couple of treasures to clean up here.
Мне на самом-то деле немного не нравится вот такая вот репрезентация
Like, you
происходящего,
stand on the
потому
treasure
что
and you're
это...
like, okay, I'm standing on top of it,
Ну, не надо создавать лишних
but it's always
предубеждений насчет всего такого, мне кажется.
whether or not she wants to pick it up. So you have to be alert that you actually get the pop-up, because I've had it happen before where I'm like doing a run and I'm like, oh yeah, I picked it up, and then I don't know, watching a YouTube video on the side, not paying attention, and the pop-up doesn't actually happen, and then I end the run like, wait, I missed something? What happened? But I actually went to the treasure, I just didn't pick it up. Do I need to turn on? No, I don't. There's a lot of fiddling around the menu because we want to turn off and on
So let's go up.
the auto aim and stuff. So normally in this area you'd have like a huge fight where you'd have to take out all the enemies before you could open a door, but we have a a way around that.
Сейчас мы должны по-правильному открыть дверь,
Precariously placed ledge over there,
чтобы
which is
продвинуться
unacceptable.
дальше. Но
And then there's also
поскольку
this
мы знаем,
that
куда
we
идти,
use, which
мы
also
тут
puts us
немножко
in a good spot.
схитрим
If we stand on top of this ledge,
и запрыгнем аккуратненько на край платформы и отключаем автоим
jump off,
непосредственно в нужные моменты, чтобы
reach that ledge.
нас трос не кинул туда, куда нам не надо, и мы должны допрыгнуть вот до того края платформы, чтобы скипнуть большую секцию.
Skip kind of
Непосредственно то, что сейчас пытается сделать Раннер, к сожалению, у него не получилось с первой попытки. Не долетел маленько.
if I take out the like 3 guys on the balconies in the beginning and get to that rope swing out of combat, then get a pretty good checkpoint. No, that's not working. Okay. That gets
Повторяем
me
все
to
то
that
же самое. Запрыгиваем на край платформы и пытаемся
Like,
допрыгнуть.
normally you have to beat these enemies, but you can like leave here pacifist style without like fighting anyone. But it's faster to get into combat for a little bit. Just
Знаете, иногда во время скипов кажется, что лучше бы я пошел через дверь. Это вот как раз-таки тот самый случай.
it's not as hard as I'm making it out to be, but
Sometimes physics are finicky.
yeah, it's like you have to have like a certain angle on the first jump, and then you have to have a certain angle on the second jump as well. Yes, there
Yes.
you go. So now we're out of the combat arena, which we're never supposed to
Отлично.
be out of the combat arena with the enemies alive. And an added benefit is we can just
В общем-то, здесь мы не должны быть, пока враги живы.
we run faster.
Но поскольку мы сделали этот скип, тут будут такие интересные, немножко абсурдные моменты в какой-то степени, потому что
Thankfully, that's probably like the most annoying skip for me.
в нашем случае мы пропустили такой
This is-
важный сегмент с точки зрения игры. В нас будут стрелять мистические пули, то, что вы видели сейчас, и не попадать ни разу. Ну, просто потому что выглядит немного забавно, но оптимизация.
In some cases, if I get the treasure menu, I would just like, whatever, I'll just do the, like, to not do the restart checkpoint. But in that case, it's like really slow not to do it, so.
This keeps getting more and more spectacular. Damn it! They've blown the entrance. Gotta be another way in.
Right, so now we're in this
In here,
temple
Nadine.
thing.
В общем-то, сейчас нам взорвали проход, в который мы должны были попасть, и мы надеемся, что есть другой путь внутрь.
I'm gonna try and time my roll
Все по
with
классике. Если где-то что-то уничтожено, то всегда же можно обойти.
animation or like interruptible animation. When that happens, then you get knocked over by the explosion. But if you're rolling or mid jump or something, then you don't care. There's a lot of underwater treasures as well in this chapter, which are kind of annoying because you have to be like you'd think you could be like a little bit above them and get them, but kind of have to be like level with them or below sometimes. And my favorite thing in this area is to roll into all the vases.
В общем-то, мы просто докатились до нужной нам точки,
Two treasures,
буквально.
like 5 steps from each other.
и
Doesn't
подбираем
make sense.
сокровища. Что самое интересное, нам ни в коем случае нельзя получить полноценный обзор этих предметов, потому что мы попадем в меню, в котором мы, по идее, можем все это
Yeah.
посмотреть.
But as we're using up all the time anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Normally you'd have to like wait for her to walk over
Through here.
and prompt you to get into that cinematic, but since we're getting all the treasures, we
Magnificent.
waste that time anyway. I don't want to surface here because sometimes when you get into water, there's like dialogue that plays, and a lot of times when there's dialogue playing and you're in water, they block the dive. So you know you want to just like hold circle as you fall in, and then you insta dive, and then you can dive the entire time. You won't lose breath. Like, and I think they even set the breath at a certain value while you're doing that, like messing with the roots there. So even though I was underwater for like a long time, longer than I should have been able to, they like, oh, it wouldn't be really that nice if we killed you mid like triangle prompt because you dove too early.
Спокойно катимся, прыгаем. В ране пока что скипов не будет.
Thanks for going first, eh? You're welcome.
And important note, not press triangle on 80, because if you press triangle on this camera prompt, it pushes you down. I don't want to do that. I don't know why you would, but
Squeeze here.
sometimes the instincts kick in, you just like see a triangle prompt, you gotta press it.
Oh, hello. Nice city.
Oh, I think another thing we didn't explain with the rope is that there's two ways of getting off it. You can either press X to like jump off it, or as I did here, I press circle to like drop off it. And it's a lot of times it's faster to press circle because pressing X kind of makes you do a jump, but you know, which caps your speed at a certain, like sets it at a certain spot. But if you're swinging real fast and you press circle, then you maintain your like swinging speed as you fall off.
And you reduce airtime.
Okay.
You reduce airtime.
Does it?
Yeah, and you reduce airtime because you get like
What?
a little jump off the
Got water
jump.
in my ears. I hate that. What I wouldn't give for a towel.
Right, so now we're in this big room.
My
Uh,
God. Are you seeing this?
There's a fun skip at the top, but
At this
for a
point,
while we're just
I've
gonna
run out
be
of words.
Просто поразительно, как все сохранилось.
picking up stuff.
That's what?
Вот все находится под открытым небом, то есть это постоянное воздействие дождя в течение десятилетий. За этим, естественно, никто не следит. Здесь куча воды, но все, что как бы мы здесь видим, это, ну так, немножко водички и скалы. Как говорится, строили на века. Оп, раннер с первого раза. Тихо. Во, отлично. Раннер не мог подобрать коллектабл в течение долгого времени.
They set up child-friendly spaces where children can play and recover from traumatic experience they may have been through.
Gonna need that.
They establish safe passages to get food and other supplies to the most affected areas. And they provide child protection services to ensure children and their families remain together, and that separated children are reunited safely with their families and caregivers. So yeah, all of your money is going to an amazing cause. Thank you so much for it so far. And even small amounts make a big difference, because for just $10, it's enough to ensure that 4 children can get access to one of Save the Children's child-friendly places for a month. Yeah, thank you all for your amazing donations. Keep them coming. And we'd love to hit our crazy, lofty goals for this event. Yeah, thank you.
Right. So there's a few quirky things in this section.
We're getting somewhere.
Like there's a couple places in the game where like the game really wants you to grab a certain ledge. And even
Механизмы все еще хорошо работают, не проржавели, кстати.
yeah, whatever.
И легко двигаются
One of them is
с помощью рук. Тут даже не нужно 3-4 человека, чтобы их сдвинуть. Иногда логика вот уходит на второй план.
think you really want to go there.
Вот это вот чувство гигантизма
Jump over here. If you time it
довольно-таки интересно выглядит.
land on this ledge here. I'll just do it normally. And there's a lot of ledges over there, so it's kind of tricky. Sometimes the game's like, oh, you want to grab this one? No? Okay.
Игре, кстати, не хватает кнопки бега очень сильно, из-за чего приходится катиться.
Nice.
Like I said, those opening the menu like that doesn't matter. Use in-game
Если
time.
вспомнить Стэнли Parable, там, где
We like to be
была шутка насчет коллектиблсов, я с ней абсолютно согласен. Не надо собирать это тебе абсолютно ничего не дает, не собирай это. Но только там, если ты это соберешь, ты получаешь сюжет и концовку в качестве шуточной импровизации.
crushing.
А в Анче ты получаешь кучу предметов, которые как-то описаны
Muscle memory,
и дают тебе только ачивку.
like deciding which parts I want crushing for and which not, and actually remember.
Как же удобно, что
That was a close one. Wow.
Because there's a slide over here
I
that's
can see my house.
копье сломано, что у копья есть какие-то насечки на конце, за которые можно схватиться. Так здорово,
it's kind of like
так клево.
jarring when you do it on Explorer, just how slow it is. Like doesn't make sense.
Повезло, повезло.
Oh. Well, that's cool. I did. I'll be right down. Ah.
Yes, I did remember to put on crushing.
Thank you.
Sometimes you can get a roll out of that one. I don't know why it doesn't work always. Yeah, this jump, not supposed to be able to grab this ledge, but if I stand in the corner over there, there's like a little bit of rubble piled up, and you get raised up just a little bit, and just enough for the game to let you
Here we go.
grab that.
Okay, I've got
And
this one.
conveniently, that's where the treasure is, so we don't have to like go around.
И
and
снова
then go
крутим
down
колесо.
the treasure and then go back up.
С такой легкостью, двигая многотонные руки из камня.
And here comes Shiva's drum.
I thought it was an hourglass.
It's an hourglass drum.
Come on, jump to the drum. Thought it was an hourglass. It's an hourglass-shaped drum. Oh shit, here we go. Hang on.
Okay, so coming up to the
Там, скорее всего, этот древний водосорок использовался.
kind of weird.
Именно поэтому механизмы все еще так хорошо работают.
It's like a
And
combination
now
of
we'll
like
turn the water on for this side.
I don't know. I don't even know how it works. It just works if you do it a certain method.
Вы сейчас слышали самую классическую фразу у спидранеров зачастую. Я не знаю, как это работает, но это работает, если вы сделаете это правильно.
We'll find out in a moment.
So there's this like there's these three statues with prisms that direct these colored light, and
Yeah.
you're supposed to like move them around to direct the light to the mirrors on the ceiling. There's one in the middle right there.
The light is shining on that statue across the way.
We can like make Nadine do some of the work for us, and something happens when we do that, where one of the statues is supposed to slide down a slope, but it just doesn't.
When the Hoysala want to protect
And-
something, they don't do it halfway.
Because it doesn't, it means we can be doing other stuff,
Now,
um,
what's all this then?
and you'll see. So we need to spin this
Here we
one.
go.
I think it's hollow. It's a prism.
Идеально работающие кубы.
Finicky. Let go.
Let it rot? Yeah.
Okay, so we get
Эх, вот бы все так строилось. Что проходит столетия.
just so I know that it's working. So when I grab
Все
this,
под постоянным воздействием дождя. И даже крыша не протекает.
let go, Nadine, be a deer.
Nadine, be a deer. We're ahead of you.
And the Nadine be a deer dialogue prompts Nadine to spin,
Практически казуальное прохождение пазлов.
hit that.
За исключением пары оптимизаций в передвижении и знаний того, что...
doesn't line up, we can just restart checkpoint.
Точнее, знаний способа решения этих
Sometimes the
пазлов.
statue gets placed like like up there and it like bounces. It's weird. I think we probably just carry on. It should work. And then this statue over here, normally, as you can see, there's like this ledge is leaning. It's supposed to roll down the slope, but if I go over here, our checkpoint, then it just doesn't. And Nadine always, like, because this statue's broken, so we're like, hey Nadine, hold up this mirror, and I'll hold up the other statue in place so it doesn't roll down. But we have the handbrake on, so we can. What we can do in the meanwhile is we can go over here. Oh, this one is lined up. That's not great. I think we can save it though. If this doesn't work. Yeah. Okay, so
Так, получаем, кстати, нужную фразу и
Doesn't
ресетаем
always
чекпоинт.
happen. Okay, here we go. There we go. Let's just do that again.
Okay, can you be a statue again?
And it should work even though... oh, okay, it's actually just like... there. Hopefully I'll make it in time. Please. Just made it. Okay.
That did something.
So we have the rope now attached in this little cutscene.
И сейчас мы, кстати, загличились. Замечательно. Вы видите, как
Do anything about it.
у нас пес
It's
зацепился.
supposed to be able to do that. And thankfully it doesn't crash either through like getting like confused by you grabbing a ledge and grabbing the rope at the same time.
И сейчас мы формально схватились за край и держимся за него с помощью веревки.
Oh, Nadine's supposed to be there, but she's not there. Don't worry about it. And then
И сейчас вот мы в воздухе не держались, вот нас держала напарница,
so we just
и
pushed over here.
она нас типа вытянула, но поскольку мы загличили состояние, мы сразу же с помощью веревки долетели до сюда, из-за чего срезали весь сегмент.
Actually, like,
Как обычно, все всегда рушится. Вот они приходят, делают пару взрывов, и все начинает рушиться. Неважно, что это стояло тысячелетиями, там, какими-то столетиями, под воздействием воды и прочего. Ничего не рушилось, а вот один взрыв, он все сразу рушит.
like do that
И нас хватают.
takes like a couple of seconds.
Как они сюда добрались, это тоже не важно. Враги всегда знают, как туда попасть, идут по тому же пути, что и мы. И даже при учете, что их 20 там человек, они все равно двигаются с такой скоростью, чтобы быть там вовремя.
Another thing in this part is normally like you know you just walk this part slowly behind everyone. You're the last one to reach the door at the end. But conveniently, this soldier on the right,
You two
he
the same to her.
slows down a couple of times so we can get in front of him and get him to push us. And
Сейчас
usually like
мы всеми силами пытаемся
really help
обогнать солдата, который нас сопровождает, чтобы он начал нас толкать. Вот.
the right spot.
Мы чуть-чуть правее идем, правее. Он всего лишь пару раз замедляется за весь этот диалог, и благодаря этому мы вырываемся вперед.
And if we
По-правильному мы должны зайти в дверь последними,
and I start walking fast.
но
So there's like
с помощью вот этих небольших багов
the way I think about it is
мы только что оказались впереди, из-за чего заходим в дверь первыми, и все. Отлично.
and once he says that,
Изейшая.
normally you speed up,
Прекрасный скип.
but I think the trigger is just
Как
like
только мы слышим нужную фразу, мы ресетаем чекпоинт и перемещаемся дальше.
and you reach it just like whenever he says the line. But if you can get to like in line with Nadine and Sam earlier, then you can just like walk faster earlier. And now we have the extreme version of the puzzle from earlier on.
What now?
This one can be a bit tricky because I want to move these rings in a particular order to like minimize the randomize like how much they affect each other. And sometimes you get lucky, it's random. It varies how much you have to align this last one, depending on just like the parity of it.
Видим прекраснейшую историю в картинках.
Uncharted 4. He's Nathan Drake's brother.
Ganesh,
Uh,
quite an obstacle.
so
И удивительно рабочие механизмы.
Gideon is our enemy in Uncharted 4, so they don't get along or
Yeah.
all that well.
Yeah.
Shut up and watch. He yielded.
We don't ever get to find out what happened there.
What are you doing?
Oh, I guess we do. They got handcuffed.
Также получаем триггер
He yielded.
в виде диалога и
Game, like,
скипаем
tricks you here with fake
чекпоинтом.
So for Chloe, can't actually unlock this until after the water starts flowing, and then for Nadine, you can't actually unlock hers until after you go.
И как обычно,
But the game
наши злодеи, будучи уверенными, что им больше ничего не потребуется в древнем храме, из которого точно нельзя ничего вынести и точно ничего нет, они просто все взрывают. Ну, нет же никаких подозрений на то, что это может потребоваться. И вот, к сожалению, мы смогли спасти только свою подругу. Удивительно, как так получилось. Ну, и поскольку мы довольно-таки сильны, в попытках спасти, мы просто с помощью одного камня ломаем металлические наручники, но они же не сделаны древними людьми. Сверху падает потолок, причем очень медленно, хотя это многотонная конструкция, и мы просто выплываем. Как только получаем нужный триггер, снова ресетаем чекпоинтом. Все просто идеально.
Now we're in chapter 8. This is everyone's favorite chapter. That's a sarcasm, by the way. There's like a part in this chapter that's like just tedious, but
Эх.
there's also fun stuff in this chapter.
Жалко вот тут вот этот, брусчатки нет.
A little nice checkpoint restart there just to bring us a bit forward.
Ресетаем чекпоинт, чтобы оказаться чуть дальше по
Like crawl spaces where you can roll.
локации.
I don't know what the distinction is. Sometimes the game just lets you. I mean, some of them have like special animations, like, but some of them don't and don't let you do anything. Another trophy. Oh, didn't get the line. I don't know why, but sometimes she's supposed to say cannonball there because she like does the cannonball, but sometimes she just doesn't say the line.
It was.
Yeah, this is a pretty good time for messages.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. In that case,
Мне даже немного жалко, что
a minute
Анч
to
перешел вот в такую вот
once again,
псевдооткрытость мира.
streams running this
По мне, так это пошло только во вред этой игре.
in the venue, Stream 2, featuring a bunch of fun runs. It will run about 12 hours a day, but it's starting today, coming up. And I can tell you about some incentives we have on that stream. On that stream, we have a totally accurate battle simulator run. I don't know if you've seen this game, but it's quite funny. A bunch of like, you spawn a bunch of like armies to fight stuff. But you can choose for the last 2 levels of the showcase. You can choose which army the runner will use. They will either use guns or wizards. Those are the 2 choices. Currently, guns is winning with $15, and wizards has none. So if you would prefer magic to weapons, then you can get donations in for that. We also have a good old Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team run. We have 3 different naming incentives. We've got, you can name the Skitty that is used,
Сейчас у
the
нас
Squirtle that's used, and you
читают
can name the
донаты
whole team that's
с
used.
сборами на
So get your donations in for
имя в
that.
покемонах
No names
и
are
прочих
$0.
шоу-кейсах,
So if you get in
потому
early
что
with your name suggestions,
это сегмент
so
толкания
name
тележки
that
и
name.
диалогов.
So if you want to name one of the Pokemon for that run, get your donations in. But yeah, say, remember that Stream 2 exists and it's coming up soon.
Right. Yeah, Stream 2 is good for like all those inconvenient.
Главное, не спрашивайте, откуда тут рельсы и почему во время строительства не нашли древние технологии.
That was close. You in one piece?
It's hard to like expect a
Come on.
game getting into any
We're exposed up
marathons,
here.
but
You know, I feel so much safer with her.
Nadine, see if there's something up there we can use.
I can do it.
No, we're good. Come on, China, I'll give you a boost.
All right, just trying to be chivalrous.
Just watching you.
probably like the most niche category in all the series.
Вот это вот не самая лучшая идея подсаживать кого-то с протезом. Ну
One
ладно.
other person runs this, so maybe there's somebody out there who's like fancies a bit of all treasures.
Got it.
Come on up. Go ahead, Sam.
It's a good game,
Aids before
casually
you-
too.
Yeah.
Too kind.
No, she's just worried I'd kick it over and leave you down there.
На деле игра очень хорошая, хотя полна абсурда.
It's fun and it's fluid.
I wouldn't really leave him. Yeah, well, play nicer.
Oh,
Sam,
coming up is
see a way
a pretty
forward?
fun treasure.
We'll definitely need
In
your
each
grappling
of the
hooks.
games, there's like a
On
an
my
Easter
way.
egg treasure thing. In the first 3 games, like the counter doesn't actually count it, so in the first 3 games you have to like end the game with one more treasure than the counter says. But in this one, it does count it. And I don't remember them all. In the first game, it's like a Jack and Dexter precursor orb.
Scouting ahead, Sam.
In Uncharted 4, it's a Firefly pendant from
There's a cave
The
up
Last
there.
of Us.
Might cut through to the tricks.
Oh, it's, yeah. I spoke too soon. It's coming up, but it's coming up in like 3 minutes. It's a different one. This is the only treasure that doesn't lose time RTA.
Why don't you go ahead?
And I found out yesterday that you can restart checkpoint here and it's faster.
Might cut through to
Because
the
normally you're
tricks.
supposed to like wait for Sam.
I take it she's going first.
Why don't you go ahead? Leave the rope for me.
You got
But yeah,
it.
you can like go over and then get in and come back and you're still in time.
Speaking of the treasures, there is a pickup in
Next time,
Last of Us
bring your
Part
own
2,
bloody rope.
which is Nathan Drake's ring,
Right, yeah.
Okay.
which he loses in the desert. I think cool there.
Yeah. Does he actually, or does...
He does,
Okay.
as far as I remember.
I can never remember.
Yeah, because Elena's like, here's the ring,
Right.
swap.
Put this on. Okay, so we have a fight. Pretty like normal strategy is just like
Star for you.
we need to get a gun and then shoot that. Usually there's a guy over there, but somewhere else. Oh, there he is. And we do a little lap around the area. Shoot the guys. You have auto aim or lock on aim, so it's convenient. Nadine's still good at fist fighting. That's good to know. Okay, almost got stun locked by that guy.
Секция, в которой нам надо зачистить всю волну врагов, чтобы продвинуться дальше по сюжету.
So Nadine's fist is stronger than a bullet.
Nadine,
Yeah,
have a word?
say that. I mean, it's pretty... Like, you could say that, but it's like, yes, it's empirically true. Here's probably like the trickiest checkpoint to hit. Because we want to put it on crushing, because there's like a lot of sliding
Go first. Thanks.
right here, but the checkpoint is like, as far as I know, like when you attach the rope to
We're nearly to the
the
round gun.
the hookup
Be
spot,
long now.
and if you do it too early, then you have to do the entire fight again. So let's just be safe, okay?
Whoa!
Sliding over here like so much faster. On crushing.
Сейчас мы периодически... Ну как? Мы поменяли сложности испытаний, то есть вот этих вот прыжковых секций и прочего, потому что в зависимости от сложности меняется скорость нашего передвижения по ним. Поэтому мы периодически меняем сложность, чтобы либо ускорить наше перемещение, либо замедлить в зависимости от целей, которые мы преследуем для некоторых скипов, либо
but
просто в казуальном прохождении.
drop down research checkpoint, and it actually brings us
Как
forward
только мы
enough. They
берем
would've-
сокровища, мы сразу же ресетаем чекпоинт, чтобы
if
сэкономить
I
время.
waited, it would have taken longer for me to get the like rope prompt. So there's a little
Вот
bit-
мне интересно, то ли она такая везучая, то ли такая невезучая, что все под ней проваливается и ломается.
entire series is like using research checkpoints.
Ну как они, конечно, поймали балку, за которую она схватилась, когда целая радиовышка обрушилась, это просто восхитительно. Еще мне нравится путь к этой радиовышке, он, видимо, не предполагал, что там будут ходить люди.
Prime time for reading messages because we're going to be pushing this cart around and doing stuff. So,
Hello.
hello.
Was that me?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you
Hello.
can go on for a while.
Oh, go for a while. Sick. Okay. In that case, I told you about Stream 2 incentives. I'll love to tell you about Stream 1 incentives we have. I mentioned the worms' voices earlier, where you can choose the accent that the worms were talking. You got Angry Scots, French Lover, or Yorkshire Tykes. But you can also name the worms. You can name all of the worms. They'll use 6 worms in their team. So get your names in for that, and the top 6 names of that incentive we will use to name the worms. So even if your name doesn't win the bid, it can still be used in the run. You can also pick the entire
Старые
team
добрые
to
вагонетки.
run again.
Все еще на ходу, все еще легко толкаются. Правда, непонятно, с какими целями они там оставились, что они там делают и так далее,
The
но
next
лучше не
incentive that
спрашивать.
we have, coming up is the
Удачно.
color of the Midnight Morph for the Final Fantasy 13 run that's coming up. You can choose the color of the dress that the runners
А
will
кто
wear.
сделал каменную кладку там?
Colours.
И для
We have
чего?
rose, deep blue, orange, and white.
More the merrier.
Now, which color do you think is winning?
Okay with this, sure.
Ready when you are.
What were the options again?
Rose, deep blue, orange, and white.
Have you ever
Oh, shit, sorry.
Rose?
Rose, that's correct.
Yes.
The deep blue, orange, and white all have actually literally 0, and Rose has $123.45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
you did?
So yeah, if you don't like Rose, apparently Osskari does. But if you don't like Rose, get donations in for the other colors, and you can choose the dress that they use. And also we have the big incentive for Defeat Arrow Knight. So the runners will face the super boss Arrow Knight in the run. We need $2,000 for that, and we're currently at 304. So yeah, get donations in, and we can change the run.
There we go. Old switcheroo.
Alright, we just come to the end of this. We gotta push the cart one more time. It's yeah, it's annoying to get this part like 90 minutes into the run, but you know, what are you gonna do?
Мне вот интересно, что мешает толкать с другой стороны? Типа вдвоем удобнее,
We like to go.
но можно же прикладывать усилия в одном направлении и все такое.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Хорошая физика, я согласен.
The box.
Эх, не сразу зацепились.
Statue zone. I think that's like a frame rate thing. I don't remember that happening that much on PS4. So maybe that's a thing I need to look into. There are a couple of like weird differences in this game over the PS4 versions that aren't related to frame rate. I feel like some of the
Nearly
there's a fight near the beginning that's like normally super
Sam.
consistent, but on the
Can use my
PS5
rope.
it's like a little annoying sometimes. But mostly it's the same. Here's a little
Ну, идем за сокровищем, которое не смогли схватить с первого раза.
oh no, our chances are dismal. That's not good. I didn't actually
И да, это вот такие сокровища даже теперь есть.
I hope it's not the run.
Не знаю, как-то они в этой части переборщили. Ну как, это уже вот после третьей пошло в четвертый и так далее, что
To answer our
они переборщили с количеством сокровищ и взаимодействий в мире.
Right.
Мол, сделать игру еще больше, еще крупнее, но сюжет-то остался по масштабу тем же, а
You're supposed to
абсурд происходящего возрос до максимума.
fight enemies and you just shoot 2 rockets Might be more actually on higher difficulties, but on Explorer it's 2 rockets at least into the helicopter.
Мини-игра по
You can,
взлому
you can
замков.
get like a rope attach point. That's how that works. And because we're an Explorer, we can just like, I don't know, I don't care. These guys are trying to do something, and it looks sketchy, but it's not. Hey, Nadine.
Сейчас мы просто добегаем до следующего контейнера с РПГ.
PG.
И со второго раза, по идее, должны сбить вертолет.
And then we can attach a rope, and as soon as we get lifted off, we can restart checkpoint.
Да.
And then that brings us
После второго попадания ракетницы мы просто цепляемся за него
way different.
тросом и ползем на него. У нас никто не может попасть.
Crushing or something. Looks way different, but pretty nice and easy.
Открываем дверь вертолета
Explorer.
и просто захватываем его.
You probably mentioned
Элементарно.
Nadine was the bad guy of the last game, of course, but she owned the company Shoreline, which we are fighting against now.
Yeah, this guy took over. His name's Orca.
Упс, случайно застрелили пилота.
Subtitles, but
Ничего страшного.
the only reason I know it
Вертолет просто потрясет и нас выкидывает на землю так аккуратненько, я не знаю.
UC4.
Это восхитительно.
The second man.
I make my own roads.
Yeah, he was like her right-hand man or something. Oh, yes, I love this driving.
Он случайно ударил
Driving section has a lot of
кусок стены, который не рушится, поэтому потерял скорость анлаки.
that can do this and even like spin you around and stuff. It's not great. I should have taken another path that has a lower chance of doing that, but it's all good. And then we're gonna get ambushed by some motorbikes. Thank you, Sam. Oh wow, he did it right away. So one of the guys
На нас
that
напали
the motorbike
противники на
is
мотобайках.
scripted to try and jump on the
Мотобайкс.
car. Only
Мотобайкс.
one of them.
Мотоциклисты.
As long as nobody's done
И
it,
никто из них не может в нас попасть, хотя их тут вот просто миллион.
it's pretty random. It's kind of
В общем-то, мы уничтожаем целую армию.
thank you, game, for doing that. You can like if you don't give them a chance to jump on, then you can get through here without them jumping on. Because God, the game is just having a great time. While the guy's on the car slows down for some reason. So it's better to get like not have a guy jump on there, but it's hard to control. Normally I have to wait for the train, but this time I had to catch up with the train, so that's good.
Didn't know you cared. He's got the tusk.
Nice climb up here. Treasure.
Catch where
Should
they put
be
that giant
2
crate
more
on the
treasures
engine.
on the
Right,
train,
that's our next stop then.
and that should be it.
Прямо на поезде у нас, кстати, лежит старый пистоль.
I don't think I did.
Просто потому что.
That would be fun to like go through this entire thing and be missing a thing.
Let's try the other side. Whoa,
So-
easy now.
If you played Uncharted 2, then you'll remember that train. That part was so good that they did another one over here. And
Okay,
this one is also pretty good.
Progress.
So to begin with, we're just gonna be climbing over
Out here.
everything, and then in a little bit,
Oh shit.
once we reach the certain part of the train,
But
we
we
wanna
still have the element of surprise.
jump off into a car.
Нам подвозят противников, в буквальном смысле подвозят.
And yeah,
И по идее здесь можно устроить стелс, сегмент, но поскольку это легкая сложность, мы просто пробежим.
Okay. Nothing to see here. A lot. So then when we get in here, restart checkpoint. We get a car on either side. Looks like we're
Добравшись до
right side.
чекпоинта ресетаем, чтобы получить удобный паттерн.
Jump in either the driver's seat or the
Сейчас мы должны были спрыгнуть, чтобы угнать этот транспорт, но случайно слезли, поэтому получили лишнюю анимацию, но ничего
like,
страшного.
Nadine can shoot here. Okay, there she goes, but she doesn't really like to shoot. Sometimes there's like just a bunch of guys like shooting the car and making it blow up, and she's just chilling. So we want to get up to the open car over here in front of this one. And jump off, please. Right. Oh, thank you. That's perfect. And there's another checkpoint in here, which brings
И,
us
кстати, мы сейчас зацепились за ящик, хотя просто должны были запрыгнуть наверх,
the
unlock.
train and then like find
Получаем
the
еще один чекпоинт,
that we want. So
ресеты, и снова повторяем угон машины.
there, it's like, okay, we get a checkpoint and then we restart the checkpoint and we put the game in a pretty favorable state. Get the car to us. And we actually have to take that car because we can't.
Как видите, если вас тащит по земле за грузовиком, вы не получаете вообще никаких повреждений, потому что и человек с пулеметом не может по вам попасть.
And here's
Точно так же, захватываем пулемет, ресетаем чекпоинт, уничтожаем волну врагов.
But I actually want to turn it off now because there is a heavy inside of this car. But we actually don't want to shoot him. We want to shoot these
Сейчас мы отключили лок-он
fast. We want to shoot
для
the gas canisters in there.
помощников прицеливания, потому что нам надо было расстрелять специфическую зону у данного поезда, чтобы
Hopefully we have all the other ones.
часть состава отцепилась и перевернулась, и мы смогли продолжить прохождение.
And this part's kind of annoying because you want to be like jumping, go a little bit faster, but there's so much stuff to climb on.
When we bollocks it all up.
I went past the treasure. Why did I do that? It's talking too much. Over here. And then we can hopefully do a little jump over.
Снова идем захватывать сокровища, нужные для коллектаблса и данной категории. Ой-ой. Ой-ой.
There we go.
Ну ладно.
Check real quick. Okay, we have 68. Nice. The run is valid.
What idea was this? Yours.
And now we just need
Мы
to
собрали все сокровища, ровно 68. Теперь ран официально может быть закончен.
the more annoying driving.
Достижение Fallen Order, в котором 100% коллектаблсов на 3 часа и забыли взять один, не провалил. Как? Ну не повторили, это хорошо.
This is really heavy.
I can imagine. And now we're reaching the front of the train,
You coming?
and there's a bomb in there, but we can't get in there, so we have to do some more stuff.
That's definitely the engine.
There's a skip you can do, like, with this, like, shimmying part over there. You can, like, jump
Don't think about what you're
into
doing.
it and
Just do it.
do it faster, but it's really sketchy, so
Come on.
I never do it.
Seems really inconvenient that everything is called a shot.
This one's welded shut too.
Просто открываем люк с помощью сил,
Anyone in engine room?
Right? Yeah.
но у нас не получается, поэтому снова угоняем чужой транспорт.
There's two more times we need to drive. This one is annoying.
На деле нам просто помешали нападением на нас.
Once, 180
Но, как видите, нас это не остановит, мы просто угоняем машину.
a lot of, like,
Time.
you do a lot of
И везде есть дороги, по которым можно проехать, как вы
hard
видите.
to catch if you go
Деревья нам не мешают, местность не мешает.
that can happen, right? Okay,
Машина настолько вездеходная и стабильная, что ничего ей
that's into the
не вредит.
place there.
Поэтому мы просто едем до финального сегмента игры, в котором мы скипнем заставочку и получим время.
Okay, that was pretty good. Oh, okay. So there's the. That's what
Мы
happens.
обогнали поезд,
When you jump out of the car, you get this roll, which some
и все, что нам нужно сделать, это
earlier in the game,
двинуть стрелку.
chapter 4, when I like rolled into next to a box, but if you're able to
О нет,
triangle or something on
нам
something,
мешают тем, что у нас стреляют.
you can cancel the tumbling animation. But otherwise,
Врубаем снова автолог.
yeah, let's fight. Whatever.
И как обычно, в последнюю секундочку, типа из последних сил переводим стрелку.
A line of dialogue that I used to see if I killed all the enemies. but I did it too quick. Last piece of driving. This is usually okay, but can mess you up. And then we're just into the last boss, which
There's the train.
is kind of funny. It's
But
just,
how the
I
hell
mean,
do I get on board?
boss fights in Uncharted usually don't go hand in hand.
Crossings?
Lazarwich from 2 is kind of the exception, but even that isn't like great. This fight is just like a couple of punches sandwiched
Мы даже не
with
ударились.
some cinematics that we're skipping.
Can't
So
believe that worked.
it's
Oh my god, the bridge.
Я тоже не могу поверить, что это сработало.
jarring sometimes.
Ничего, ничего. То, что машина падает, это не страшно, мы просто запрыгнем. Оп. И, конечно же, нас не сбрасывают с поезда, нас бросают на другую сторону вагона. Ну,
Walk behind the saw while he's
это ж
occupied by
правильно.
Nadine. The first part.
Зачем как
The
бы
second
скидывать
part,
кого-то
usually
с
he's like,
поезда, если можно перекинуть его на другой вагон?
if I get in his face, then he just does 2 punches at me and doesn't mess with Nadine, and it is faster. Because, yeah, sometimes he does that thing.
Прямо-таки финальная сцена Metal Gear Solid 4.
You can do that in this part as well if you like get in his face. Then sometimes he doesn't do the like fake out thing. Just like punches you twice, or tries to punch you twice, and then you just get past it.
Ну, наконец-то нас попробовали скинуть с поезда, но, как обычно, мы за что-то зацепились.
Head over there to
И надо
see
просто
Nadine, but
уклониться от
I like to just hang out over here.
замечательных, просто замечательных указателей каких-то, которые царапают наш поезд. Но они же сделаны именно для того, чтобы вредить поезду,
You can like go the
а не являться каким-то указателем. Нам снова очень дико везет, что обшивку поезда оторвало так, что мы можем за нее зацепиться. Ну и главный злодей, естественно, не может выиграть. Ну, почему? Потому что...
one more part of volley of punches.
Looks so unassuming.
Not anymore. Okay, now we just need to escape the train. So, Mr. Time Master, get
Осталось бежать с поезда,
ready. Get into
и как
position.
только мы сбежим, появится время. Удивительно, насколько длинный был этот поезд, учитывая, сколько мы частей состава уничтожили.
Gonna make it. And when I
И
skip
всё.
the final cinematic, it's time.
Как только мы скипнем последнюю катсцену, появится время, все время.
I did my job.
Отлично.
And since we use in-game time, so that's my time. Actually, world record for this category. But
Кстати, это VR для этой
escape
категории.
but, I mean, there's a caveat to that because we split the categories on FPS, and nobody's run this category on.
А сколько там он
PS5,
времени,
so
кстати?
automatic
1.46.24?
world record.
Не, 1.46.24 это, кстати, не VR.
I'm not gonna play the credits because DMCA, but yeah, that was Uncharted, Lost Legacy, All Treasures. Thank you so much to CSA for.
Ингейм тайм, там
Like I said,
ингейм
it's
тайм
the
44
most
минуты
watched
VR в этой
category to
категории.
watch in the series.
Но он был близок, потому
Nice
что
to get it out there.
сейчас
And
46 и
maybe
16
drop or
это у
down.
нас
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you everyone at the
второе,
for
второе
watching.
место, да. Ну там на борде в этой категории это всего лишь 2 рана. Так что любой ран, который вы сделаете в этой категории, даже без скипов, гличей,
If you wanna learn
на 4
any
часа
games
будет
in the
третьим
series,
местом на борде.
you can go to
Так что,
any
да.
games on speedrun.com and click the Discord button.
Не самая популярная часть для спидранинга Анча.
You can find me at my username, twitch.tv/my username.
Yeah, it's on screen.
No, nothing else to add, really.
All right, so that's it for us. Thank you so much.
Thank
Over
you so
to
much.
Josh.
Thank you. Thank you, Osskari, and I'm glad you actually got all the treasures. And don't
Yes.
downplay a world record.
No,
Alright.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ран
thank you,
закончился.
amazing run of
Ждем,
Uncharted, The Lost Legacy, all treasures.
Дака-дака
Up next,
на
we have
CNC
Command
Red
Conquer
Alert.
2 no, Command
Не,
Conquer Red Alert 2
Command and Conquer. Не, как там будет? Command and Conquer. Red